anymore. My toxicness will stop me from loving myself or trusting others in my peaceful place. Not anymore. My lack of post-trauma is going to stop me from my future growth. Yes, not anymore. I know I'm powerful. I know I'm overcoming. I know I'm a positive. I know I'm loved. And yes, not anymore. I'm dope. Dedicated to other people's empowerment. I love my dopeness, and so should you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the I Am Strong Enough virtual tour. I'm excited to have Lamia Michelle in the building. How are you, Miss Pierce?
I am doing amazing. How are you?
I am good. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday.
The same to you.
How was your week?
It's been good so far for the most part. I really can't complain.
That's good. That's good. So, can you tell the people where you're from and how did you get into writing?
Yes, I am originally from Chester, Pennsylvania, but I now currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, here we go.
Hold on. I'm gonna bring the other one up. You want me to take the other one off? That's better.
Hold on. Okay. We good.
Yeah, we good. I was about to say
You can hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're good. Okay. So like I
You
was
gotta
saying, I am originally from Chester,
exit
Pennsylvania,
out of the phone.
and now I live in
Exit out of
Atlanta,
the phone.
Georgia.
Exit out the phone. I'll do it. But go ahead.
I thought I did. Hold on.
No, I got it. I got you.
Okay. Is it echo?
Nope, you good now. I already took the other one out.
All right, cool. Thank you. I'm
You're
trying to turn
welcome.
this up so I can hear.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's just really low. It might be me.
Because I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Yep, you sound loud. Everything. You sound perfect.
Okay, good. Okay.
So you got you into writing.
I've always been a writer. Just a lot of things through childhood. I was like an avid journaler. So writing was always my go-to. It was just my go-to, my hobby, I would say. I really kind of say to myself as like going through elementary school, middle school, or whatever, and even up into high school. So I just always took to pen and pad to release how I feel, to express my emotions. It was just always through writing.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So now, do you have a book or are you just writing journals? Are you just creating journals?
I have both. I wrote a book, She Writes from the Heart, and then recently I want to say with not even the last year, maybe the last 6 months or so, I just was praying like, okay, God, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? And I know that a lot of people always say you take what you like to do, your hobby, whatever you're good at, and go with that. So I like the journal, so I created a line of journals.
That's dope though, because we all need something to write in. So why not perfect
Right,
something that we all use? You know what I
right.
mean? Like, because I definitely know I have a few journals running around here. Because we write a lot. So them journals
We
get
do.
full real quick. So, when did you write your first book? When did you become a professional, you know, a published author?
I wrote this book, She Writes from the Heart, I want to say in 2019, and I didn't publish it on Amazon until 2020 as a self-published author until 2020. It was never a part of my plan
Okay.
to ever publish the book. Really, I just was writing it just to release how I felt or some
Mhm.
emotions or whatever I was going through. And
Right.
what happened was I had just currently moved to Atlanta, and as I was unpacking, I found like, oh God, like maybe 6 or 7 journals that I had written in.
Wow.
And so I took my journal notes and just put it in a book. And I really just wanted my grandchildren to have someone to look up to, and like that person to be like, oh, my Gigi wrote a book. My Gigi is,
Right.
because they call me Gigi. My Gigi is an author. My Gigi, I needed them to see that, to have something to strive towards, or to see
Right.
greatness within my family dynamics. And so I've
That is
self-published it on Amazon.
That's awesome. I commend you because, some people never take the step. Like they say, hey, I want to be, I thought about it, but they never just go do it.
Right.
So that I commend you for taking the steps to put it out there. Like when you put it out there, was you afraid? Did you think, like was you just like, I'm gonna put it out there and there was like no fearness to it? Or you had to think about it for a second, like, do I want to put this out there?
I was very afraid, nervous, anxiety went through the roof. And what I need to write this down and put this in a book. What had happened was, I had met someone on Instagram, Cheryl Jackson,
Hmm.
and she had asked me if I could review her book, if I could read her book and review her book. And it's something I've never ever done before. Even though I love books and I'm an
Right.
avid reader, I've never had to read somebody's book and review it. And so I said to her, I said, well, would you mind reading mine? And I sent it over to her. And she said, why have you not released this? Why is it not out? I'm like, oh no, it was just a hobby. It was just on my to-do list. I just had to mark check that I've done this. And it was, again, like I said, for my grandchildren. And she said, oh no, you need to release this. You need to get this out. And so by her giving me that nudge, that's what gave me the push. And it's funny how God works, because I had went on, she just started, oh,
Keep going.
no. She has started just giving me like lots of pointers and pointing me in a direction to go, as far as interviews, as far as doing different things. And I had went on Facebook to a group, to a book group, and the person, I can't remember her name, sorry for that, was asking for an author. She needed someone to do an interview like immediately. So I just felt something in my spirit that said do it. So I leaped, and no one in my family knew, no one close to me knew besides my daughter, and that was it. So I said, oh wow, now I have to tell everybody that I wrote a book. And so that's how it got started. I pretty much just jumped out there. Like I said, Miss Cheryl gave me that push. Thanks to her. A major shout out to her. She's also an awesome writer. She has 2 books out that can be found on Amazon as well. And she connected me with Lisa Toomey. So it was just like a trickle down effect. So from that one push led to a second push, which she then introduced me to Angela, Queen of Collaboration. So it just kept going and it kept going and kept going. But I was very afraid. But at this point, I'm glad that God sent someone along to push me, because it wouldn't have never happened. That I'd have kept it to myself. I can't hear you.
I said, I'm glad you got that push because sometimes we need that extra push to get to that next level to take us to the different places we need to, go. Because a lot of times we don't see what other people see.
Right. I agree.
Now, is there any more books for the future?
I've been working on it, and I do have another book coming out. I'm not sure as to when the release date will be, but I am working on it. I've written a few pages, more than a few. I've written enough, but I kind of just keep going over it. And plus, I want to do things like differently. I want to do things orderly this time, I'll say. Because there were a lot of steps that I missed the first time, because again,
Hmm.
it wasn't supposed to be it wasn't supposed well, my plan, the universe had different plans. It wasn't never supposed to be out there. So as far
Right.
as editing and proofreading and getting it copywritten and all of the stuff that goes along with it, like I missed
Hmm.
those. So this time around, I kind of want to do it differently. And I might just go through a publishing company instead of just doing it on my own. So, but most definitely there is one in the works.
Listen, I can't wait. I can't wait. Now, what are the names of your journal line?
Um, Pretty much if anybody was to go on Amazon, all you have to do is type in my name, Lamia Michelle or Lamia Michelle Pierce, and I believe it's 11 journals on there so
Hey,
far.
listen.
And
What it
it's
says?
not girl, listen. So I don't have like a specific name, even though this new
Okay.
journal that I'm working on, I have a journal
Mm,
line that I am currently working on that's for men, and another one.
mm,
Yeah, so
okay.
I have two journal lines that I'm working on where I'll have like a collection. But right
That'd be
now they're
dope.
freestyle journals, and you just type in my name and they'll all come up.
That is super dope.
Yeah.
Now, if like you said, a lot of times, like you said, your plan was to you wasn't even planning to put it out there. You wrote it and, you was like, hey, I'm going to put it out there. So for any future entrepreneurs or, someone that wants to be an author, what advice could you give them?
First of all, I would say just leap. I think I've said that before, and that's the one thing that comes to my spirit is to take the fear that you have of lose the fear of judgment, what people going to think, what they going to say, because that was my biggest fear. Because again, my book was a little bit different because it is
Right.
my personal journal notes. So I didn't
Right.
change the words. I wrote everything exactly as is. And no moving forward, I'm like, oh, I could have did that differently. I could have
Right.
reworded that. So my biggest thing was that people were now inside of my thoughts. People knew what was
What
once
you was
private
thinking.
and only for me. So now I shared that. But now being in the space that I'm in now, I know that it was healing not only for myself but for
But
others.
for others.
So I most definitely would say like put that fear to the side, that inner voice that tells you, oh, people are going to judge you. People are going to know your business. People are going to say this. People are going to say that. You can't make it. Who are you? You're not an author. You're not this. You're not that. Put that to the side and just jump. Just take that first step and just go because it's like the door will continue to open for you along the way. So it's just getting over that negative self-talk, silencing
Right.
that, and just taking a leap of faith.
That is such awesome advice because so many times we self-sabotage ourselves.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, we listen to the inner voices of what others have told us or even our own selves because we are our worst enemies and we'll tell ourselves we're not good enough or we don't fit the script or we're not supposed to be
Right.
here or we don't belong. So that is awesome advice that you are delivering to the people. Do you have what is your goal in the next 2 years? As far
Um,
as your entrepreneurship, your authorship, things that you're doing.
I really want to take my journals and turn it from a hobby into a lucrative business. Cause again, like that's my space. That's my
Mhm.
lane. I also would tell people find your lane and stay in your lane. Like no
Right.
one can do you the way that you do you. So
Right.
once you find your lane and what you're good at, go for it. Like stay in that lane and just foot on the gas. Like seriously, I want to take like I said, well, I don't want to. I'm going to take affirmation. I'm going
Right.
to take my journal line and I'm going to turn it into, and it's going to turn into a lucrative business because the Bible says, God says, our gifts will make room for us. So I believe that my gifts are in my hands. So it's like, okay, this isn't just something. At first, I was playing with it. I was just
Right.
creating just to create because I like to create things. Like, oh, I like this. This is pretty, and oh, I can just. So I'm good at being a creator, but now I have
Mm-hmm.
to be good at being a businesswoman as well because the goal is to have generational wealth, is to build
Right.
generational wealth, is to take this and leave this so that my grandchildren and their children have something. You get what I'm saying? To look forward
Yes.
to in life and not have to struggle and really just breaking that generational pattern of that lack mindset and the fear, just getting past all of that. So I mean, and then like with my as you know, I don't know if they know, the audience knows, I am a life coach. So I have a lot of things under
You do.
I have a lot of things under my belt. I am a sociologist. I went and collected a bunch of degrees and certifications and things
Mm-hmm.
just to say that I did them, just like with the book.
Right.
And then I sat with them, I sat on them, and then I moved to something else. So for me, and I'm sure for someone else as well,
Right.
learn to complete, learn the art of completion before you move on to something else, because you'll accumulate a whole lot of things and have a whole lot of stuff in your hands, but you have to have direction on what to do with one before you can move on to the next one.
That is so absolutely right. You actually had somebody that said, Tamala, she said, right, we have to change our mindsets to help the next generation. We totally agree.
Agree. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. And you're right. You know how you said you got a lot of certifications and then it's like, all right, on to the next. Now you're buckling down and it's like, all right, what's my focus as a
What's my
business person?
yes, and that's where I am.
I love it. Definitely, because you're changing your mindset and you're switching from just doing it just to do it to actually doing it to make it profitable. So that
Exactly.
that is totally awesome. So for somebody that's out there that's trying to figure out how to market themselves or market their brand, what advice could you give them?
That is what I'm currently working on, because that's the area that I have issues with as well. So thanks to you, thanks to CT, thanks to Lisa Toomey, a what is it, prolific poetry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys come in and y'all give me so many pointers on what to do and how to do it. So make sure you have a team. You can't do it by yourself. I tried to do a lot of things by myself, and that was one of the hiccups that was causing me not to get over the hurdles, because you have to have a team. Be, People that's in the process of doing it and people that have already done it,
Right.
because they're going to be able to give you pointers and give you the direction and the clarity that you see. And like you said, other people can see greatness in you. They can see something big within your vision that you are overlooking. So it's like, make sure you have a team. You're going to need a team in order to get to that next level of wherever it is you're trying to take your business. I'm learning that as I'm going through it this time.
Absolutely. And my advice to a lot of people, consistency. You got to show up. And
Yeah,
cuz the more you show up, the more they see your brand, the more they see that you're serious about your brand. you know, because
right.
if you can't put in the effort in the work that it is for yourself, how do you expect somebody else to take you seriously as you want them to invest in you if you can't invest in yourself? So, absolutely, consistency is another key to it as well.
I agree. And see, with me, it's like with the consistency part, I'm an overthinker. I overanalyze a lot of things. So I'm like, well, what am I supposed to say? And what am I supposed to do? And then that is again the
Right.
voice, that back and forth, and not
Hmm.
knowing the blueprint, instead of just
Right.
saying, well, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. And
Hmm.
listen, God, I'm gonna take a step, you take the next one, because that's it.
And sometimes you can sit down and have a marketing goal, and then other days it's like, okay, you decide on what you want to do. Like, this is how, because you know how you can pre-schedule your posts, so you can
Right.
you can set yourself up for the week to where you're not overthinking it on that day to figure it out. You can pre-prep for
Okay.
it. So it's always
That
it's
makes
always
sense.
so, like you said, being an overthinker, you'll overthink it and never do it. You be like, never
Right.
mind. I don't want to do it. That's too much. I'll try again another day, which turns into procrastination.
Exactly. And that's a
So,
whole nother ball game. So I most definitely would say, just make sure that you have a strong team, and like you said, the consistency, the over talking, the your own voice sometimes,
right.
and just really just stepping out on faith.
Yeah.
If you have to hire, like content creators and VAs and branding managers and all that stuff. Cause see, I just like to create. So I
Hmm.
know that I need a team
Right.
to do the business side of it for me, because I just want to do the creating side of it. So I know that, and that's like having an honest conversation with yourself about where you
Hmm.
are, what it is that you offer, and what it is that you bring to the table. Like, I'm the creator, so, and I know that I'm not the virtual assistant. So I don't, again, stay in your lane. It's like staying in
Right.
your lane and saying, okay, this is what I do, but this is what I need you to do, because oh, sorry, it's still you're a baby, and it's like, oh, I got to give my baby to someone else, but someone else is well versed in the business aspect of it. Someone else knows how to market. Someone else knows all, and like you said, all you have to do is show up consistently and put the idea out there and give it to whoever you need to delegate it to. And it's still like your baby, but again,
Right.
just I'm telling you, learn to stay in your lane. Learn to stay in your lane and do what you know how to do best. And this is my lane.
That is absolutely true. Because definitely, listen, I go to people. Look, I need some content going on. I can show you. I can give you the material, but I need you to put this together. So I get
Yes.
it. Like how you are the creator. I know what I want it to look like and everything. I just put everybody else on the job to make it look like what it needs to look like. I got the
Right.
idea.
What it needs to
I
look
just
like.
need right.
The vision,
So
because that's me as well. Like
yeah.
I'm there. I can vision it in my head clear as day. I
Hmm.
just need you to make it look like what it need
Right.
to look like for social media, for the
Right.
public, and this and that. But I'll put the
Correct.
vision together. I could tell you what it is from A to Z. I just need you to do your job as the business part. So it makes sense.
so so when you published your book, how did your grandkids feel? Was they excited?
They were super excited. Mimi and Izzy, that's their names. They both have me on their candle. So they
Oh,
be like, there go Gigi, there go Gigi. So I mean, and it's an amazing feeling. That's the best feeling that I've gotten so far, from the book is their reaction. Cause that's who it was for. It was for them. So their reaction is everything. Are we froze? Oh, okay.
no. She said, we got a quote, a comment. She said, designating others to get the job done. Correct. That's
Most
yep.
definitely.
Yep. Delegating. Sure enough. I'm good for that. Yep.
Yes.
Listen. Amen to that. Now, being an author and a designer of journals, what is your positive and your negative that you feel you've endured in the, I guess you could say here.
I didn't the phone
Am I back? Can you hear me?
yeah, now I can.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
We got, yeah, see, internet acting retarded. I said, what was a positive and a negative of having this author career?
Um, the positive, like I just stated, was the reaction that I got from my grandchildren, and also once I put it out there, the reaction that I received from people who I didn't feel like would show up to support me, and everybody showed up to support me, and I was pleasantly surprised by that. I was really taken aback because I wasn't expecting that at all. I mean, and it was an overpouring of support. So that was the positive part of it. The negative part of it was I really can't say it was a negative. Um, Besides just now continuing to hype myself up to move forward and go ahead with the next one. I did a coffee table, like a reading group coffee table. And
Mm-hmm.
again, like you said, I'm not like because before when I was going to write a book, I'm gonna go back inside this story. I would sit and research like TD Jakes is an author, and I would look through all the books that I have, and I would see how they designed it, and what they
Mm-hmm.
said, and how the outline was, and the verbiage, and da 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 da. And that was like back in 2008, but it just wasn't making sense to me. So
Right.
to me, it's like, oh, well, my book, the comparison is the negative part. Well, my book doesn't look like that, or it doesn't sound like that, or maybe I should have used this word, or maybe I need to go take a writing course. And again, that's all just negative self-talk that you
Right.
say to yourself that you're gonna have to get over, because I have to get over it. Even with this new book, I sit and I meditate a lot. Always by myself, but in good spaces. And in those spaces that I am alone, I'm constantly in prayer and meditation so that I can hear so that I can listen for what my next step and direction is supposed to be. So spirit keeps telling me deeper, deeper, but the deeper I go, the more trauma I'm touching on. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the
Mm-hmm.
basis of my next book, because as I was
Right.
stating, like when I did the poetry group when I did their round table, their coffee table with Lisa Toomey, the ladies all gave me the same feedback. No, stay authentic to you. How you wrote your
Correct.
journal entries and everything, that was perfect. Don't change that.
Hmm.
That's you. That's your signature. That is who you are. So another thing is having people that speak life into you. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we need that along the way, because there's so many people that speak ill words and speak death to our dreams and our purpose, or who see greatness in us and don't tell us because they don't want us to see us succeed or be higher than them. It's
Correct.
like those people still come along that's able to speak life, and so they like, no, don't change nothing, keep it how it is. And I'm like, oh really? So this was the way I was supposed to do it. Because back in 2008, when I was going to write the first book, I was like in a really deep depression. I was living here in Atlanta at the time, and I've been back and forth many a times. And I was at work one night, and so I was just on a computer, just messing around, and I was just so sad and so broken, and like again, always writing. That was my thing. I wrote Oprah. This
Hmm.
when Oprah had her show, so I wrote to the Oprah Winfrey show, and I'm ready now because I'm gonna just. Never thought that I would get picked, but I did.
Right.
But I didn't go because I was not in a space of a. First, I had to call my
Wow.
grandmother to ask her, should I do it? Because there
Hmm.
were so many things that had occurred that only my journals knew the secrets. That if I went on national TV and put it out, now everybody will know. And so I didn't write the book. I didn't go on the show. I stopped journaling for a long time until fast forward 2019, the opportunity to be on Oprah hasn't came back around, but look at the other
Right.
opportunities, the doors that are being open. Even you, I was gonna cancel tonight because I felt like, oh God, I gotta fix my hair and all this stuff.
Right.
Make excuses, but these are opportunities.
Hmm.
Every single one that comes along is an opportunity. I did a podcast the other night on here with Breon Nichols, and that's an opportunity. So it's like the universe going to open the door in front of you. It's going to be up to you to walk through it, because the more doors that, yes God, the more doors that I walk through, that Oprah opportunity, even though it might not be her because I don't think she do a talk show anymore, it's going to be somebody else. The opportunities always come back around, but are you positioned? Are
Right.
you aligned? And are you ready for them when the door opens? So I look at these opportunities as the steps that I need to prepare myself for that next big opportunity, because I feel it and I know that it's coming. Thank you.
It definitely is. You're welcome. That's what I'm
Yes,
here
thank
for.
you.
That is, oh, and we had a comment while we was talking. She said, "Say that again. We need people that will speak life into us," which is so true. And that was the biggest statement that you made. So many times, like you said, people say such ill will things against us because they're scared of our strength and the power that us in our voice. We have to remember that we need people to pour into us because we're taking and pouring into other people. So you need somebody to fill your cup too. So that's
Exactly.
absolutely so true. So many times like you said, you was gonna cancel today because you had 1,000 excuses of, oh, I needed to fix my hair or this. And good thing you did show up though. And look at this conversation you're having. Like,
I
you know what I
know.
mean? And you're pouring into somebody that needed to hear this. You needed to show up for you so that you can show up for other people, like I used to tell you all the time.
Yes, ma'am. I understand the assignment.
Yes, she did. I applied the pressure. She
Yes.
understands the assignment. And that's what friends do, and that's how we have to be in
Yeah.
this unity and the surrounding of your circle, and always remember who's there truly for you and not against you, because everybody that's trying to be having access to you don't necessarily deserve the access. So we have to be careful on who we allow to have access to us as well.
That's a whole message, and it's amazing. It's confirmation that you said that, because I was thinking that earlier today. I was just sitting here playing with my plants and writing and stuff, and I wrote that down, and I didn't know why. But be
Hmm.
careful in the circle. Everybody that's around
Yeah.
you don't always have the best interest of you in mind. So be able to weed out them energies like that don't belong. Everybody
Right.
doesn't belong to have a seat at your table, and it's
Cause
okay. It's okay.
Correct. That is so true. And then, going back to the part where you said you was comparing your books to everybody. One thing you need to remember, how they say be authentically you. Your lane is your lane. You never stray out of it, because however you deliver it, that's your work, your story, your thing.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
never take yourself and compare yourself, because it'll never be as perfect as somebody else, because that's their story and that's their lane. So when
Right.
you're comparing yourself to only yourself, then you don't have to look at nobody else but yourself. So it's your
Right.
lane, your story, your structure.
Got it. That's a whole message.
See, that's what we do over here.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you tell the people, leave them one positive message, and then also tell them how to find you and how to connect with you?
Okay. My positive message would be, I don't know why it always stays the same. Just step out on faith. I'm telling you, there are so many wonderful things that your name is attached to, and that you're already aligned to. You just, again, it's just about being in position, aligning yourself to what it is that God, the universe, spirit, source, however you want to do it, say it, has for you. I believe that there's a path and there's a role for each one of us, because we all came here with purpose. We all came here to live out an assignment, so it's not that we have to go look for it. We just have to go within and tap into who we truly are at our core in order to align with it. And that goes back to leaving alone people who don't mean you any good, leaving those people alone and to the side that want to take you in a different direction that doesn't match the vision that you have in your head. I have a vision in my head. I've always been a visionary. I've always had a vision of the type of woman that I was going to be since I was younger. And I'm getting closer to her. At one point, she was so far away that I couldn't see her clearly. But now I see her more and more, the more that I'm more expressive. Like, I wasn't a public speaker, but here I am. Look at me, like you said, showing up. And
Right.
I'm like, oh God, I have a voice now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never had a voice. That's what caused me to journal so much and to write so much in the first place, because I felt like I didn't have anyone to talk to or anyone would understand, because I was different.
Right.
So now it's like just being authentically you, even your differences, whatever they are, it's still part of who you are, and it still was assigned to you for a reason. So when you take all of those things and you let go of the people who don't serve your highest purpose or serve your highest good, God will continuously order your steps, step after step. And you're going to be uncomfortable, but the uncomfortable places is where you grow. You have to be uncomfortable, because if not, then you'll never move on to the next stage
Right.
that he has for you. So it's like just taking that and knowing that, waking up and just even affirming over yourself every day. Because I do have affirmation cards. I'm working my business backwards. I created everything, but then I didn't do it right. I didn't search for a business name. That's why you need a
Right.
team. I didn't know about doing all those things. So now I gotta work backwards and go back and do all the stuff that I missed in the middle, because I went from this to that real quick.
But it's
So
okay. Maybe it was a reason why you were supposed to do it this way. You know what I mean?
how
This
about
was the way
that?
you were supposed to build your business.
Yes,
So
I
it's
like
not
that.
backwards. It's your way.
I like that. I like that. That's
That's
amazing.
it.
I received that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I do. Because that makes sense. Because to
Hmm.
me, I kept saying, oh my God, I'm working backwards.
Right.
Because it's like the stuff that's in the middle that I felt like I was missing, like,
Hmm.
so I'm like, oh God, now I got to go back and do it all over and this and that. But no, I just got to tweak
No,
a few
you just
things.
got to tweak something. And what it is a lot of times everybody don't do everything the same. And you
Okay.
created one way and somebody else creates another. Somebody might have came up, somebody might be doing what you're doing and might not create their business name till 5 years later, because their purpose hasn't showed up yet. you
Right.
know you doing it because, you like you said, you started off doing it because it was something that you loved. You started
Mm-hmm.
off, you end up putting it into a journal because you wanted your grandbabies to say Gigi wrote a book. Now your mindset is different. So your mindset was one way then, and it's a totally different set now. So it's in the form of the layers that needs to go for you. And that was
Okay.
made in the avenues for you. So it was designed to be built that way.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't with you.
Sisters, listen.
Yes,
But these
yes,
are the
yes.
best conversations
Right.
because it's like, again, if you're constantly pouring and pouring, then who
Mm-hmm.
fills me back up? I think I even wrote that in
Right.
my book.
See?
I
Yeah.
pour and I pour and I pour, but then who comes along
Mm-hmm.
and fills me back up? And look at you filling me back up. So it works. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
it definitely is. Can you tell the folks how to find you and how to connect with you?
Yes, I am on Facebook as Mia Pierce. And I do have an author page on there that's author Lamia Michelle. You can find my journals and my book, She Writes from the Heart, which I am in the process of revising. I just wanted not the words or anything like that. I'm just putting a little
Just
bit of structure to it. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It is
yes,
available on Amazon and it is
I like that.
$9.99. And it's priced $9.99 because 9 are ending of cycles. So I knew that once I wrote this, everything that I wrote within it, I was not going back to repeat again. So it's $9.99 and it is on Amazon. I have, like I said, 11 journals on Amazon, but here are the newest ones. I have a Dear God Is Me Again prayer journal, and I
Nice.
can't remember the price of that. Don't Wake the Dreamer, a dream journal. And then I have another prayer journal as well. God, Dear God, it's me again. Good morning, God, prayer journal.
I
So,
like that.
and then
Those are nice too.
it's like so many other ones on there as well. And if you type my name in on Amazon, you either type in Lamia Michelle, and all of my stuff should come up, or you can type in my whole name, Lamia Michelle Pierce, and you still can find me that way. Um, I'm on Instagram as well, and I'm on Instagram under underscore planet PLANTED underscore SEEDS. And that's pretty much about it. I had a podcast and I had a YouTube and I had all
Mm-hmm.
this stuff, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing it over.
You look, you're revising.
I'm revising.
You're
Yes,
revising. You giving
I
it a
am
facelift.
revising.
You giving it a facelift. That's all
I
you.
am.
That's it. That's it. You updating it. That's all. So I
That's
got
it.
one question before you leave for us today. What do I'm strong enough mean to you?
I am strong enough to reach every last single goal that I set for myself. I am strong enough to heal. I'm strong enough to overcome my obstacles. I'm just strong enough to be authentically me. I'm strong enough to be me.
Remember all that. Make sure you
All
say that
that.
every day.
Yes.
See,
Look,
I
write
knew
it
what
on
I
a
was doing.
sticky note, post it on
Mm-hmm.
your mirror,
Yep.
wherever you need to stick it at so that you can see that.
Right.
Like, because that stuff works. Once you get that down in your spirit and you begin to really internalize it, then you get to live your life out loud like that. It's a reflection, it becomes you, and other people are able to see that as well within you. So, this was amazing. Thank you for having me
Yeah,
on
you're
your show.
welcome. You're welcome. Everybody, I thank you for tuning in to the I Am Strong Enough tour. Y'all know I am your girl, Sheena Gadine, the lady behind the mask, the author of The Mask Behind the Mask, the author of Unveil the Broken Piece of the Mask, the new children's book author called The Power in Me, and they are all found on Amazon. You can contact me on www.theladybehindthemask.com. And as always, y'all know y'all can find me on all my platforms. I ain't hard to find. You need to connect, collaborate. You want to check in, I'm here for it. I thank y'all for tuning in. I will be back again this week, actually on Tuesday, with another guest, Diane Hill. Tuesday at 7. We'll be here again with the I'm Strong Enough tour. We popping in and we popping out and showing up. As always, I thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friend to bring a friend to go get her book, please. And tell them to go buy the journals too. Because we in business. We trying to make this money. 2022. Stop playing. But we thank y'all for tuning in. And I thank you, Mia, for joining us on the I Am Strong Enough tour. Because why? We are strong enough. And we
Yes,
learn to
ma'am.
show up and show out. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Introducing to some and reintroducing to others. Speaker, entrepreneur, motivational coach, and author, Sheena Gadine. If you wish to contact her, you can contact her via email at sgadine16@gmail.com, or you can visit her website